and probably is on more stations around Australia doing sweepers and IDs and promos and positioners or whatever you want to call them than probably any other person. And it's because he has a very, very enormous talent. So much so that Austereo contracts him on a yearly basis to supply all of our stations. Probably one of the more heard people in Australian radio is on Today FM in Sydney and Fox FM in Melbourne, B105 in Brisbane, SAFM in Adelaide, FM 104.7 in Canberra, as well as Triple T in Hobart, Hot 100 in Darwin, CFM on the Gold Coast, as well as all the regionals and stuff. So he's a man that's very much in demand, and he got in that demand because he's worked hard at his trade, and he's been blessed with a beautiful voice. You can't always bless with a voice, but then you do have to learn how to use it. And he's worked very hard at that. And another thing that makes him as good as he is he can take direction. Okay? And what this little session is about is to show you how to get a bit of direction, how to direct talent. Because there are right and wrong ways. And probably more is the case for you guys, is that you probably wish the people that you had to work with could take a bit more direction. Or maybe what we show you today might not help, I don't know, but hopefully it might show a way of getting more than just your stock standard reads out of some of the people you're working with. Any questions so far? No? Okay, I'm just waiting for photocopies of the scripts to come through. Ray hasn't even seen these yet, so I'm better giving him a minute.
Blind reads, eh?
Blind reads, well, I mean,
which language are they in, honey?
this is the Gothic Ethiopian one. So what we'll also do is we might actually listen to how some music after we finish with Ray, how different pieces of music can make the same line sound very different. Okay. Thanks. Take one for Ramon. Jump in there, mate. If you just clear a path so I can actually see Ray a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Can you put me up there, Stevie? 22221.
Enough?
Yeah. A bit more. 2, 1, 2, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you just brought it back there, so yeah, punch it in. It just might be these cans.
Just that chat in here, mate.
Boom, that's better. A bunch of wimps, that's nice as that. 1. In the Dark Ages, people would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual purity. Bunch of idiots. That's better. 1, 2.
That's EQ. Actually, well, I'll go to that in a sec. I'll actually get you over here. Sorry, mate, I should have set up before I did this. So I won't see you.
A lot of shadows all over the place. That's better. That's better. Would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual purity. But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon. Watch the world's best athletes talk themselves beyond pain. Talk. It's bloody light, isn't it? Blown away there. Take themselves beyond pain with a 2-kilometre swim, a 64k bike ride and a 16-kilometre run. Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Australia Fair, for the last ever World Cup Triathlon. What? When is it the last one? Sunday, May 2. Sunday, May 2. Free admission.
Okay, Ramon, you got me?
I got you now. Shut.
Okay, just on this one, mate. I just want you to show... I'll show you what we're trying to achieve here is to show them how reads said differently can change the whole mood of something, okay?
Okay.
So, in this one, start it light and friendly and inflect up, okay?
Okay. In the Dark Ages, people would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual purity. But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
Yep, keep going.
Watch the world's best athletes take themselves beyond pain with a 2-kilometre swim, a 64k bike ride, and a 16-kilometre run. Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Australia Fair, for the last ever World Cup Triathlon, Sunday, May 2. Free admission.
Okay, that's great. Now, I'm just going to roll. I'm just going to talk to you for a sec, right? Now, that was very light and friendly, okay? There wasn't a lot of... This script lends itself to a couple of different moods, okay? So, Roman, if you could just... let's dress up the front, mate. Let's do it the right way. And a bit sort of doco, stay down on it, and a bit sinister.
In the Dark Ages, people would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual purity. That's fabulous. Take a million. In the Dark Ages, people would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual purity. But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
Okay, now to get more out of this, let's just pick it up. But it's nothing. Go down. If you want to inflect something and get a very strong point, make a real powerful point. I've always found it's better to inflect downwards rather than up. It's great, but it's nothing compared to. That makes it too nice. But if you go, but it's nothing. You know what I mean? You don't have to overhype the reed in order to achieve the power that you're trying to do. Just give them one, right?
Then.
Just but it's nothing.
But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
Got it? Understand? See the difference there? Now let's run the whole thing together, Ray, and make it quicker, but it's nothing compared to the pain. You know?
Then.
Just that line.
But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
Coming up a bit too nice at the through at the end, you know?
But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
Just fell off the end slightly, but it's what they go through was better there. You're starting to actually get a bit of attitude about it. Can you hear it?
But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
Let's pick up the pace.
But it's nothing compared to the pain. Again.
You smile, go down, but it's nothing.
But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
Okay. Probably coming up a touch too high at the end still, right? Just stay down on it.
Spiritual purity. But it's nothing compared to the pain they'll go through at this year's World Cup Triathlon.
That's good. Now, that's good, real strong end. It lends itself to go into a nice music bang, like, you know, the really hard duel of two tribes go to war, maybe, you know. You can set some imagistic stuff up, and then all of a sudden you go crash. Now, because at this point we will probably pick up the pace, the natural reaction when you pick up pace is to higher your projection. Sorry, is that the right word? So rather than go, what's the world's best athletes? Because you want that pace, you want the vibe. We pick up the pace, but we stay down on it now, and it's all action. What's the world's best, you know, right?
Dun, 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 dun. Watch the world's best athletes take themselves beyond pain with a 2-kilometre... Shadows here. Watch the world's best athletes take themselves beyond pain with a 2-kilometre swim, a 64k bike ride, and a 16-kilometre run.
Great end. Probably still got a little nice through the middle, mate, so let's watch the world's best.
Dun, dun, dun. Watch the world's best athletes take themselves beyond pain with a 2-kilometre swim, a 64k bike ride, and a 16-kilometre run.
That's perfect, you know, looking nice there. See, now we got the whole one, the same script. We've got like 3 different attitudes already. You understand what we mean? And so we're going in, you know, in the Dark Ages might be just this very, very empty, sparse, basically wind, ethereal type sound, you know. And then we might sort of add a drone or a bass drum to sort of wind it up a cog, but it's nothing compared to what they'll go through, crash, bang, and then we're into the pace. You know what I mean? We've set a scene, we've painted more of a picture, an audio picture, okay? And the tag is just finishing it strong.
Kilometre run. Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Australia Fair, for the last ever World Cup Triathlon. Sunday, May 2. Free admission.
Yeah, and you could probably give it to me in the same ilk of the paragraph before.
Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Australia Fair, for the last ever World Cup Triathlon. Sunday, May 2. Free admission.
Okay, now for me, the thing that's missing now, can anyone, well, this is not having a go at Ray, because he's read it exactly how it's been asked, but I reckon it needs one more thing to just make it a little bit better, and that he really needs to lean on last.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I think the free admission is too negative, and that's a positive. He's being negative about it.
Yep.
And
Okay.
a pause before that.
Okay, just give us the last ever first.
16 kilometre photo. Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Australia Fair, for the last ever World Cup Triathlon. Sunday, May 2. Free admission.
Okay, probably hit it a touch harder, Ray, last ever, keep the pace, stay there.
Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Boom! Kilometre run. Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Australia Fair, for the last ever World Cup Triathlon. Sunday, May 2. Free admission.
Probably just make more out of free admission and smile in, mate, head,
Head for Southport. Head for South. Giggle fuck. It's kilometre run. Head for Southport Broadwater Car Park, opposite Australia Fair, for the last ever World Cup Triathlon. Sunday, May 2. Free admission.
Whatever. That's sort of a little semantic and split hairs. But you get the vibe there? You understand what we're doing? Okay? So, now that, taken one read, I mean, the first read that we got Ray to do because I asked him to do it, you could nearly put a nice bouncy, light KPM track behind it. And it's got like, roaring, you know what I mean? But this way, you've actually got some attitude in there to actually start painting a few pictures, and you can actually start marrying. And this is what it comes down to pre-production. Now, I haven't even thought about this. First I've seen it, but I just asked for 5 or 6 commercials. But if I sat down and thought about it, I might have, heartbeats and breaths, and the spinning of a bike sprocket, or the snap of the elastic of a head, the goggles, or what, I don't know. You know what I mean? And that's why I said to you before, the more you pre-plan and look at the piece, the better you'll be able to judge. You nearly have it produced before you get into your take. You understand what I mean? It should be nearly at that point. It sure as hell should be a very clear picture in your head. Okay? Ramon.
The Nilex Commando Hose talking to you now.
Ah, good.
Yes.
Okay, what do you got? Let's do, what's this? McEwen's. Okay?
Another long weekend. You beauty. Time to finish off those jobs around the house with the help of McGregor. Attitude, hold on. Conversation. Another long weekend. You beauty. Time to finish off those jobs around the house with the help of McEwen's, Burleigh and Southport, open Saturday and Monday.
Yeah, just keep going, mate.
Drop in for specials like 8-foot treated sleepers for $9.50. Easy mix concrete and mortars only $6.95 a bag. The Nilex Commando Hose, it's an amazing thing to play with.
Just pick it up there.
The Nilex Commando Hose is $10.95. McEwen's, Narang, South Tweed, Burleigh Heads and Southport. Check today's bulletin for more specials and remember, check today's bulletin for more specials and remember, the Burleigh and Southport stores are open all day Saturday and...
There's a typo there. It's all day Saturday, 10:30 till 4.
Check today's bulletin for more details. And remember, the Burleigh and Southport stores are open all day Saturday and 10:30 till 4 on Monday.
Okay, now that's a nice light friendly read, and if you piece that all together, that would probably come together in a nice way. But we can do it differently. Okay? Now, Ray, let's try it. This time you're a bit of an Aussie talking to the people on the weekend in your Akubra,
Another long weekend. You beauty. Time to finish off those jobs around the house with the help of McEwen's, Burleigh and Southport, open Saturday and Monday. Drop in for specials like 8-foot treated sleepers for $9.50. Easy.
Might just pick it up, mate. Yeah, pick it up after Monday. Go, yeah, you can just drop in, like you need to.
Another long weekend. You beauty. Time to finish off those jobs around... Well, I become sloppy, huh?
Put your teeth in.
And becomes instant heap of shit. from beyond. Another long weekend. You beauty. Time to finish off those jobs around the house with the help of McEwen's, Burleigh and Southport, open Saturday and Monday. Drop in for specials like 8-foot treated sleepers for $9.50. Easy mix concrete and mortars, only $6.95 a bag. The Nilex Commando hose, it's this long. McEwen's, Nerang, South Tweed, Burleigh Heads and Southport. Check today's bulletin for more specials. And remember, the Burleigh and Southport stores are open all day Saturday and 10:30 till 4 on Monday.
Yeah, anyway, we get the picture there. See if we could take that from a KPM type road to maybe, you know, a neighbourhood scene. And he's in the front yard, you know, g'day, you know, it's all beautiful.
The Nilex.
Move on, mate. Getting the picture here.
Battery's not included. Yes.
Okay, no, don't do that one. Let's do live fantasy phone calls.
B.
Now there's a whole heap of different ways you can go on this one. We'll just see, obviously, which way's the best. Have a go, man.
Okay. What's your fantasy? What's your fantasy? Call Angelique's Fantasy Hotline now and enjoy a live explicit fantasy. Okay. What's your fantasy? Call Angelique's Fantasy Hotline now and enjoy a live explicit fantasy phone call. We're waiting for your call now. Phone me. Free cash. 291 000.
It's funny, this is actually written for a female. But
Funny thing was about it, what? Well, from VIP saying, would you do fantasy phone call? I said, nah.
Drop the phone me, mate. And let's. Okay, so that was okay. I mean, you could dress that up with a bit of sax and sexy sleeves and you know, I don't know, KPM blue movie music. But we might actually sleaze it up a bit more, mate. Yeah, but wait, let's go. What's your fantasy?
What's your fantasy?
Right, yeah, slow the whole thing.
What's your fantasy? What's your fantasy? Call Angelique's Fantasy Hotline now and enjoy a live, explicit fantasy phone call. We're waiting for your call now. 291 000.
Okay, let's slow the whole thing.
Hang on a piece of paper.
Maybe it's a slight chuckling for Angelique, you know what I mean? It's like, it even suggested up even more.
Hey, bitch. What's your fantasy?
Quick, slow down.
Hey, baby. What's your fantasy? Call Angelique's Fantasy Hotline now and enjoy a live, explicit fantasy phone call. We're waiting for your call now. 291 000.
Get the picture? Can do there? Pretty simple.
Keep that going.
Okay, let's do a hard sell on Avanti Jewels, no?
Avanti, is it?
No, Avanti will do better than that.
Quick around your finger.
Have a quick look.
Avanti. Save up to 50% right now at Avanti Jewelers. All sterling silver is half price. Lockets, chains, bracelets, and charms. There's a 1-carat diamond solitaire ring, independently valued at 15. What? 1 carat of it. Liars. Save up to 50% right now at Avanti Jewelers. All sterling silver is half price. Lockets, chains, bracelets, and charms. There's a 1-carat diamond solitaire ring, independently valued at $15,000, selling for less than half price at $7,000. 9-carat gold jewelry and chains are up to 50% off. Ah! You gotta love these ads. 9-carat gold jewelry and chains are up to 50% off. Everything must clear this week at Avanti Jewelers, Nerang River Plaza. Pick up an entry form for your what? For your chance to win what? Fantasy phone call. Nerang River Plaza. Pick up an entry form for your chance to win a $1,500 diamond and sapphire ring.
Okay, let's try a much softer romantic ring.
See. Save up to 50% right now at Avanti Jewelers. All sterling silver is half price. Lockets, chains, bracelets, and charms. There's a 1-carat diamond solitaire ring, independently valued at $15,000, selling for less than half price at $7,000. 9-carat gold jewelry and chains are up to 50% off. Everything must clear this week at Avante Jewelers, Orang River. Again, get a nice bit of light on this script because these are a bit. That's better. Save up to 50% right now at Avante Jewelers, all sterling.
Actually, since you go on the top, mate, that's pretty similar to what we just did, which is down on what we did. Slow the whole thing. Oh, that's okay. Right, yeah, just, you can actually stop that, mate.
You right?
Pull it right back now, Ray, and slow the whole thing down and take your time with it and make it nice and like a romantic Mother's Day type thing.
Save up to 50% right now at Avante Jewelers. All sterling silver is half price. Lockets, chains, bracelets, and charms. There's a 1-carat diamond solitaire ring, independently valued at $15,000, selling for less than half price at $7,000. 9-carat gold jewelry and chains are up to 50% off. Everything must clear this week at Avante Jewelers, Orang River Plaza. Pick up an entry form for your chance to win a $1,500 diamond and sapphire. Excuse me. Entry form. It always throws me that line. Pick up an entry form for your chance to win a $1,500 diamond and sapphire ring.
Okay, get the idea how you can go hard sell, softer, fines and stuff.
Which one would you go with?
For that script, which would you go for?
Which
For
would
that
I go
script?
for? I'd probably go somewhere around the middle of the range. I don't like the hard sell, and it's probably not romantic enough wording in there to, you know, you need to go to the really stuff. You probably need to do,
Use some softer.
yeah, shop, you know, thrill the one you love, and, you know, the woman in your life, and all that sort of stuff. You know, that's what I'm trying to promote cliches.
What's your opinion of the script, that particular script itself? No.
It's not overwritten, which is one good thing, although there's a fair amount in there. You've got to remember that letters, numbers are a word each. You know, like, so 397 is 3 words. Sorry. And, you know, they reckon you should write 70 words for a 30 second. Pace. But I don't think you can throw a blanket over that, you know, it depends on what it is you're reading. Some apps, you know, 30 words might be too many. Others, not enough. Yeah, exactly. So, but I'd probably go in the middle of the range stuff there and try and make it nice, light, bright and light and keep it moving. Raymond, why don't you just for me, give me, is there any tape left on that?
Yes.
That's okay. I just want the top line, mate, of that first one, the multi-sport marketing.
What about some techniques on popping?
Yeah, the multi-sport. The first thing in the dark ages, people would lash themselves.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'll just get one read, and I'll dump this down onto the multi a few times, and we'll show how different music can change the scene dramatically. So if you can just give me a nice monotone read.
In the Dark Ages, people would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual. In the Dark Ages, people would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual purity.
Physical and spiritual purity.
In the Dark Ages, people would lash themselves to achieve physical and spiritual purity.
Thanks, mate. Now, before you go, that's all I want you to read. Oh, actually, you can actually read. One of the guys just said mic technique for pocking. Do you want to talk to him about any secrets or tricks of the trade you use as far as breathing or pocking goes?
Basically, when you're reading any script, it's a diaphragm breathing technique as is used by singers and others who employ any microphone work. But you've got to remember that the lips can very subliminally form a word anyway. So the word, you can get people to say the word pepper, you know, and they go pepper, or they go pepper. It is a very subtle movement of air between the lips, and depending on the amount of moisture that you have on the inside of the lips, before people read, they should clear their lips and be very relaxed about their mouth. Even though they've got to be animated with certain words, you can compress it from your diaphragm and bring out a sound without screaming and without being explosive with your mouth. Because these lips are what it's all about. The amount of air coming out of a mouth down the diaphragm of a microphone is very important. And that's just basic practice and training.
Yeah, the other thing too is if you get a really hard read and it's a very over the top, like, you know, this weekend the power boats explode on Lake Burley, Griffin or whatever, it's one of those real over the top sort of things. That's when you do have to, you know, talk across the mic, look down as you say the word power boats or whatever.
Yeah, and the other trick I've learned over the years too is, and I've often done this with people, especially jocks, when they're reading, is they sit at a mic 15 degrees or 20 degrees down plane. If you stand there on a lateral scene and start counting from, say, 10 down to 1, or do the alphabet, with your mouth straight out, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the more they put their face down to a microphone, the less able they're able to open their reeds. And you'll tend to find, that's one of the neatest tricks I've ever seen. The best thing you can do when you've got a big open reed is to try and work your scripts up zone, you know, not reading down. Because if you just try it yourself and just sort of start talking and put your face down, you'll find that you really can't talk. You have your chin somewhere near your chest, your stuff, you can't do it. And most people tend to read down plane. When you've got any sort of read on it, it's always best to go slightly up because you're opening up all the chambers.
In all the best studios, people stand to read and raise very correctly. You actually start restricting your airways and your vocals, tightening your vocal cord. But when you're in this position, you can talk and you can project. Singers, you know, stand to do singing. Even when they're recording sessions, they'll stand at the microphone. John Laws and all these guys, they stand, you know. So that's probably a good piece of advice for people learning. He pulls the bread on mic. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. You can get over, you can compensate that with gates and stuff, but yeah, it's interesting.
With breathing, do you have to actually make it a conscious thing to say, I will breathe from here, not from here? How do you, Ray might be able to clarify diaphragm breathing rather than top of your lung breathing? Because I mean, you know, if you say, I will now feel from the bottom.
The most important part is to breathe in the right places rather than how you breathe. But
Technique, I find it helps. But, you know, it's once again the practice and the amount of time you put into your craft, I think. There's a lot of guys who read ads on radio stations. When you're a jock, you've got a few seconds to say this between records of that to say that, and sometimes you can relax. But then you get up and you've got to read an ad. It's a different performance ratio, really, because you've got to get the essential message over in a certain time. And like Steve said, whatever way works as long as the guy's not sucking for wind or he's not exploding wind all over the place. And it's something I've just developed over the years.
okay, keep a bit of insight there. Any more questions?
Yeah.
No, this is out of line. Any chance of just playing that tape to re-race on?
Yeah, well, we'll do that outside of this.
Steve, so can I just ask one more question?
Yeah.
I mean, Ray's obviously got a great voice. None of us have got that many nuts. Do you?
How many do you
As
have?
I was having real trouble here.
Is there a way, again, consciously, of saying, I will form the sound back here? I mean, obviously, you can't just stand there and say, I will now read this. You've got to think about it. But can you deepen a voice and a read by consciously pushing the sound and forming the sound back?
You could go ahead and do what they call epiglottal constrictions and tight things that a lot of vocalists, music do. But that will put a lot of pressure on your larynx, and it could lead to nodules. What it basically is fucking bad living, lots of scotch, a lot of sex, rock and roll, and practice. It's like any test player. You just consistently stand up and do it. A trick I learned years ago was to read in front of a mirror. Watch your physics. Watch your body. Watch what your hands do. Everything. You sculpt the words. If you can firstly learn to see the picture of what you're trying to say, and sometimes it's hard when you get these things like a Barton and Jewelers, because you can only tart up a bad script so much. And but what you do is work with the producer where you can look upon it from different angles and say, well, the typical thing would be that hard sell, right? And Steve and I do the ad. There's no way we do it that way. There is just no way. But it is just a matter of practice. It's like if when you're young, you think, I want to be a good footballer. The only way you're going to get there is to consistently practice, listen to your coach, and just go for it and go for it. And there are certain rules, but with a voice, it is more often than not over how many years you've used it. And for me to get to this point, all I got to basically look back on is my mother sent me to elocution when I was about 3 or 4. It's a pretty faggoty thing to do when you want to kick a football. But I've been doing professional voice work since '75, so it's just a matter of consistency all the time, and occasionally, without swallowing it, you can gargle some scotch. Yeah.
I think a couple of things to remember is that young people trying to sort of develop their voice and keep it in good shape. Stay down, and when if you're going to project downwards. Don't go upwards, because the first thing that does is take your voice up high. Like I have a naturally fairly high voice. It's not squeaky, but it's not down there like that. And I mean, if you have an ear check of me from 1975, every time I tried to emphasise something up, I went and I started singing and I sounded like a stupid kid, and that's why I'm not on there anymore. You know what I mean? So, you sound like this dickhead. So stay down on it and emphasise downwards. Like, you know, like it's a tomorrow, the world explodes. It's tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Everyone's told me emphasize up, hands up.
Not for me. I wouldn't. All the best friends. I mean, when I first got hold of Steve Britton, he couldn't. He was all mamby-pamby and nice. It was like, it was like Harley Davidson. The black people. It's like, no, it's put your leather jacket on and get grungy. It's like Harley Davidson. It's like any tougher. That's what it is. And by underselling it, you actually oversell it. You understand? And it becomes less hot.
All you got to do is find, say, an adjective that might appeal to you. That could be fantastic. 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 There are so many ways to say one word, and that gets down to all the words you see in a message area of a script. There's never just one way to go. What usually is the way to go is the way your producer and you work it out. But there are so many ways of saying. If you think of one little phrase you might say commonly every day. Think of the temperatures, colour, the variation, the emotion you put into it. Sometimes you don't need to really push much out of a microphone to get a pretty big effect back. And other times you do. There are just so many ways to move it around. But it's a constant review of your own work for those who may be producing and doing their own voice work. I think it's a constant review. I always listen to the great masters like Orson Welles and Richard Burton, and just sit back and watch a video and listen to the way those guys talk. They don't scream, but by God, you don't forget what they said. You know, if anything in our life, the bane of our life is having to put up with hard sell commercials, because mostly I don't believe that people react to them. That's just my opinion.
Well, I tell you another thing I was talking about, saying one thing too much. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you've had someone be aggressive towards you. I could say the same thing 2 different ways, and you'll find one will have more impact. I could say, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to... You know what I mean? You don't yell.
You mean what's a happy day?
No, you don't yell to get that point.
What do you say to because I know there's a lot of
Come in, Sarah. We're done, mate.
a lot of clients, especially car dealers, who think
Yeah.
you have to yell.
There was a really good analogy that told me about Hartfield. We've been through all that, like every commercial Hartfield. But I mean, if you've got a client and they actually got a customer in their store, they started to yell at the customer the same way that they yell at our business.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we can, I mean, maybe you can tell them, you know, like, don't worry about, leave the sound to us. You just say it, and we will make sure it's loud and heard.
We wouldn't go down to VK and try and sort cars and set it
Yeah.
up.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it doesn't matter how loud you yell. It's the same level on the radio.
Yeah, well, yeah, they've got this idea that, the louder it
If
is.
you yell, it's going to be louder.
But it'll stand out.
They do think that. They'll hear the message much more loud.
Yeah.
But sometimes the process too, it's like good microphones, having a compressor
Sound and stuff.
sound stuff to actually get the end result. Something that can stand out, jump out the speakers and grab you around the throat.
Okay, well, we talked today about limiting compression, and I compressed the stuff right when you went down, and that sound is nowhere near where that sound would end up when it's used. And I'll play you in a minute the sound of how I would have Ray sounding in this room in the Access Pro. We're nearly out of time, actually. What time is it?
20 past 3.
We got, I can knock up the promo in 10 minutes. Nice track. Thanks, Ray, everyone.
They all scattered all over the place.
You coming to the feed, Ray?
Huh?
You coming to the dinner tonight, mate?
Well, I'm going wherever this little bugger's going. I guess I am.
Yep.
Japanese. Youth. Stand aside of Barrett Child.
That's all right. You can run ahead. I'm sorry, I'm losing me. Yeah, well, that's all right. Look what happened to you. I need to pour it.
Not the way it should be, but it's okay.
Do you recommend to always put the vocal down on just on a 2-track and then stick it back over?
No, I think it depends on what you're doing. The best way to do, I always try to cut to beds, but it's sometimes just physically impossible. All the promos that you heard on the tape of Triple M ones with Steve Britton were read from the bed. I would have written. The first thing I would have done was written the promo. There's Easy Top or whatever. I wrote the promo, then I made the bed because I'll read it myself. Trailblazers now Texas, one of the world's hottest rockers, and I know it's going to come out at around about 4 or 5 seconds. So I'll cut my bed to either match musically.
Yeah.
Now, if I need the music bed to go a second and a half longer or a second earlier, that's fine. I can just adjust my voice track accordingly. And because I know, when you get a rapport with someone like Ray and I have a fabulous rapport, so I would know that there is a certain pace he can deliver in the style that I want, and if I've got this much time, I know how many words basically to put in. Usually I put too many, but we work it out, we cut something.
Who's the last word do I just get the feel?
Well, you get the light and shade. If you're doing Tina Turner promo, and the first, and you're opening the track with Private Dancer, slinky, sort of warm, Private Dancer, and then you hit him with dun dun dun, you're simply the best. It actually picks the reed up to another level, you know what I mean? So the one reed doesn't fit all. It's like not the one size fits all mentality stuff. But anyway, let's have a listen to some of Maguk era. I designed the studio. I should be able to remember how it works. Let's see. That's a sound diffuser. It's worth about $5,000, that piece of wood. It's going well.
Almost everything.
What does it do?
Diffuser sound.
Sound goes in the back wall. Sound goes in the back wall and it don't come back. Why am I doing this? It's very simple. Stand by, stand by.
Like the inputs?
Now I'm down to 3. So this is an
Arenas that are up big arenas and are about to do it up close.
Yeah, just smile in and much quicker.
In excess of flick the big arenas that are up In excess of flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close.
Yeah, just lost the smile here.
In excess of flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close.
Now that's the read. See how he went down in excess, close. You know what I mean? Like it's hipper, it's more straight. So the other reads were great too. But they weren't as good as it could have been, you know. Like, okay, so I usually like to try and start something with, say, an attention grabber, like a spooling or a static or some of that thing, because I like to sort of like catch people, oh, what's this? Rather than coming in and they miss the first couple of seconds. So let's see what we can come up with here. 29. accent attention grabber. Turn to 0.
Remember one of those brown brag?
That's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah?
See, that's worth $4,500. Sign up for a couple. So what I actually do is probably lay this so that I know where I need to put this in. Are you guys familiar with this stirter setting?
No.
So I want to build some anticipation. Will do. Let's go wraps.
In excess of Flick the Big Arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 at the Old Lion. Tickets are on sale now from the Old Lion.
Should be like live and in your face, live and
Spreading it in your face. You don't say in your eyes. It's not a bad one. I wrote that one. In your face too.
In a
Excuse me if I'm a bit slow here, but it's all right. Everything's not right.
In excess of Flick the Big Arenas and are about to do it up close.
Didn't too late. Voice check happened too slow. Took too long to get.
So you want to
In a
right after the back?
Yep. Oh, you watch this. It's another difference. The flow and pace of something makes a real big difference. So here it's like should be
in excess of Flick.
that half second. All of a sudden, it hasn't got pace. It's not moving. So Rod Newell used to say to me, "Don't tell me how you built the watch. Just tell me the time." And it's a bit like waiting for something to goddamn happen. It's like we're in about because we're in selling attitude. We're selling vibe.
In excess of Flick the Big Arenas and are about to do it up close.
Cool. That'll do, right? Say yes. Okay. We'll go to whatever it's called. Now I just want to Hutchins. I want to get Michael Hutchins saying something. Let's cue it back so I can actually fade that in. So it's, you know what I mean? You don't want to just chop. So put in here.
In excess of Flick the Big Arenas and are about to do it up close. And are about to do it up close. And are about to do it up close. excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 at the Old Lion. Tickets are on sale now from the Old Lion.
Should be like live and in your face. Live and
In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 at the Old Lion. Tickets are on sale now from the Old Lion.
and whole thing just a touch quicker, mate. In excess.
In excess, live and in your... Flick the big arenas that are up in excess of Flick the big arenas. Excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 at the Old Lion. Tickets are on sale now from the Old Lion.
Should be like live and in your face. Live and
In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 at the Old Lion. Tickets are on sale.
Okay, so we might make some music here. Because I want to pick it up.
The big arenas and are about to do it up close. To do it up close. The big arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess of Flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close. To do it up close.
Here, that's crowd change, so we need to make that smoother. Let's go 37.
In excess of Flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess of Flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close.
Okay, I'll get that there. Now we've got to match up McGregor. So this comes back down to the mix.
Excess of Flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess of Flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close.
Anyway, you get the vibe. When I mix it, that'll crash in, and the other one will just come out slowly, so it'll just sound like it's recorded that way, nice and smooth.
Now from the Old Lion.
and whole thing just a touch quicker, mate. In excess.
In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 of the Old Lion. Excess.
So now I've got I know where I'm going musically. I can then, and then we make new sensation.
Excess of Flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess, live.
A trick for you. I should be doing it here actually. Hit the edit button. Watch that happens.
In excess of Flick the big arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess. Big arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 of the old line. Tickets are on sale now from the old line.
Now, the reason I do that is because
Stops you from jumping.
it's jumping, and it's always queued.
In excess.
It'll always come at queued.
In excess.
So it's a good time. So if you've got something short you want to drop in, I recommend it. I wouldn't replay winner calls on the air with a minute station, you know, because I would have big trouble.
About to do it up close. In excess. And are about to do it up close. In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 of the old line. Tickets are on sale now from the old line. Arenas and are about to do it up close. In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 of the old line. Tickets are on sale now from the old line.
Getting the picture though? See how it's coming together?
In excess, live and in your face, April 16 and 17 of the old line. Tickets are on sale now from the old line.